Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Barnstormer Baseball Cards TTM Successes. This is a very special edition. As you can see in front of you, I've got several returns, but they are not our normal returns. Usually we're all about baseball. We've been starting to sprinkle in some basketball and football, and today we're doing just that. This is a Hall of Fame pro football extravaganza of TTM successes. So I hope you enjoy this. I'm looking forward to it. And today, our video is actually brought to us by a good friend of mine with Encompass Accounting Solutions. If you are looking for someone to help you with your taxes, you got tax questions, 2020 has been crazy, call my friend Jason, look him up online at Encompass Accounting Solutions, and he will get you sorted out. And in addition to that, my other good friend that is a huge football fan, Mr. David T. He has gotten through his kidney surgery, his transplant that he's waited on for so many years. He is in recovery now, and I couldn't be more thankful, and this is going out to him. So, very happy to have Jason and Dave both with us, and let's go ahead and get started. I think you're going to be excited about this. Like I said, this is very different for me, and we are going to show you what we have. The first one, as you saw, is out of St. Louis, Missouri. And this is 13-year linebacker, Mr. Chris Hanburger of the, at the time, Washington Redskins. Don't want to recall that. They are the football team of Washington, I believe, is their moniker at this time. And he has personalized one to Cole and one to myself, Hall of Fame 2011. Beautiful signatures on the top of these cards. He is a 9-time Pro Bowler during a 13-year career that I mentioned from 1965 to 1978. That is a long time to play linebacker at any level, especially the professional level. I think the average career length now is down to like 3 years. So to put that many years in at linebacker is something special. 5-time first-team All-Pro, and he played in Super Bowl VII and was elected to the Hall of Fame in 2011. So happy to have this from Mr. Chris Hanburger and add that to the collection. Next we have a tight end in Mr. Jackie Smith. Jackie's shown here playing for the Cardinals. We'll space these out a little bit. Jackie was a tight end from 1963 to 1978 in the Professional Football League. 5-time Pro Bowler. Had 480 receptions for 7,918 yards and 40 touchdowns. He was a Hall of Fame electee in 1994. And post-football, he's performed the national anthem several times at many major sporting events. That is something he definitely has on me. I cannot carry a tune in a bucket, so you will not hear me sing very often. I mean, sometimes I can maybe beatbox a little for you, but that's about it. But Mr. Jackie Smith apparently has the pipes, so good for him on that. And you might catch him at a sporting event singing the national anthem one of these days. Now, our third return. This is a very cool card. I like this. I like the logos and stuff on there. It is from Mr. Tom Mack. All of them inscribed nicely the year that they were put into the Hall of Fame. They're very proud of that, as they should be. We'll go ahead and go every other one. Mr. Hanburger there. I don't have a bunch of vintage football cards. I got into football cards in 2020. Believe it or not, I spent the last 30 years actually just collecting exclusively baseball. And we're starting to branch out. And I thought, you know what? We've been doing TTMs for over 30 years. It's time to do some of these football guys too. We'll probably just chase Hall of Famers, to be honest with you, as we go, which is absolutely fine. With me, it's however you want to do it. There is no right or wrong way to do this. I'm on Twitter a lot telling people there's no right or wrong way to collect. It's what you like and the way you want to do it. So if you played one day in professional baseball, I want your autograph on a card. But with football, it'll probably just be the Hall of Famers, and that's just fine. Mr. Tom Mack played from 1966 to 1978 for the LA Rams. And in that time, he was an 11-time Pro Bowler. And check this out. He played in 184 games in his career, and he started 176 of them. So Mr. Tom Mack is one tough dude. That's a guard you don't want to mess with. He is in the trenches on the front line and doesn't sit out. So that's pretty awesome in my opinion. Life after football, he became an engineer using the degree he received from the University of Michigan. So there you go. There's Mr. Tom Mack added to our collection. We've got 6 of these. We are halfway through. That's 3. Next up, this one's very cool. I love the autograph on this. This is Mr. Charlie Joyner. Start to stagger these a little bit as we go. Charlie Joyner played from 1969 to 1986, but listen to this. He retired from football in 1986, then became a coach in 1987, and kept that vocation all the way through 2012. That is 43 years in pro football. That stuff amazes me. When I hear about guys like he or Don Zimmer in Major League Baseball spending a lifetime in the sport that they love, that I have true envy for that. A great career would have been one thing, but to have spent your life in the sport you love, like, that's just transcendent. I absolutely love that. Excuse me. He is a 3-time Pro Bowler, had 750 receptions for over 12,146 yards, and again, here comes an impressive stat from Mr. Joyner. He averaged, per catch, 16.2 yards. That dude had wheels and some crazy legs. I didn't see him play. I wasn't there. I was far too young for that. But if you're averaging 16.2 yards per reception, you are getting some yards after catch and racking it up. So awesome for him. That is fantastic. Now, moving on to number 5. And this is kind of interesting. This one came in around the same time we got Mr. Joyner because it would be the guy feeding him the majority of those. I think he spent 10 years with Mr. Dan Fouts, our quarterback of the day. We'll put him right there in the middle. A lot of you will recognize Mr. Dan Fouts. Started the card so off center, but that made it good for me to send off. It's not something I would get graded or maybe keep in the PC. So I thought, you know what? That's a good one to get some ink on. So we went ahead and sent that off. Mr. Fouts played with the Chargers from 1973 to 1987. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler, and twice, in 1979 and 1982, he was AFC Player of the Year. Now, in 1982, check out, here's another crazy stat, and I'm sure Mr. Charlie Joyner had a lot to do with this. He was averaging 320 passing yards per game. In 1982. You all see the games now. You know that it's a pass-happy league. It's strike quick, score as many touchdowns as you can, and run up the score. And that's what we do here in Kansas City. We've got Patrick Mahomes, and we're going to keep doing that. But 320 passing yards per game in 1982, Mr. Fouts and Mr. Joyner were putting up some serious numbers and taking care of business, and they were way ahead of their time. So that stat just jumped out to me, and I was like, that is awesome. He had 254 touchdowns, passes, and over 40,000 passing yards, and made the Hall of Fame in 1993. And in 1998, he was in the film The Water Boy with Adam Sandler as an announcer for the fictitious Bourbon Bowl. So if you haven't seen that, go look that up, and you will see Dan Fouts calling the Bourbon Bowl. Let's see here. Now, finally, you're probably wondering what the names we've got in front of you and all these Hall of Famers, because everyone out here is, in fact, a Hall of Famer. Who would Jeff have left for last? Well, it's a big name, and I'm very excited to have this one. I'm going to slide it into something here so I can set it up nicely for all of you to see. This is just crazy to me, and I love it. So, last, but certainly not least, we have a business card. It is my first business card that I've requested. I've gotten business cards in the past. This is the first one I asked for, but it is from executive Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Mr. Jones is the owner, president, general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, as you all probably know. And he bought the team in 1989 and almost immediately started winning Super Bowls. He won 3 in 1993, 94, and 96. My Kansas City Chiefs are the winningest team of the 1990s, but didn't break through and couldn't get any of the hardware. And your Dallas Cowboys took home 3 Lombardi trophies. So there you go. That's they were a team in the 90s also. Mr. Jones made the Hall of Fame in 2017, and he has a net worth of $8.4 billion. And what's important about that, I usually don't like talking about other people's money, is the Cowboys themselves are valued at $5 billion, and they are considered to be the world's most valuable sports franchise. Now, there's Manchester United soccer team. They are an enormous deal. There are a lot of other teams out there, but if you remember, it used to be that the Dallas Cowboys were America's team, and that's because they were always shown on TV, and you would always see Dallas Cowboy games back in the day. So there was a lot of love for them across the nation and a lot of Cowboys fans everywhere, and that's just grown that brand. So congratulations to him on that. That's fantastic as well. Now, he is one of the only executives to have major success in the sport that he is an owner for, which is pretty cool. And in 1964, he was a co-captain of a national championship team for the Arkansas Razorbacks, and he was actually a teammate of Jimmy Johnson, the Hall of Fame coach that led all his Cowboys teams to those Super Bowls. So pretty cool there, and that ties it all in together. I thought that was pretty neat. So we went 6 for 6 on Hall of Fame football Hall of Famers, and happy to have you all here today. Thank you for watching, and as we leave today, I'm going to let you go out with